Hey y'all, so today I'm going to be talking about Islam versus Alex 2. I am pretty gutted by this. I truly think that if Alex had a full fight camp, I truly believe this would have went different. Of course Islam was beautiful in the way he set up the knockout, but it's just, Alex did get off the couch, and I have nothing but respect for Alex. He's a prize fighter, he wants to secure a future for his family. But it's just, you truly, Islam is right in that you can't take away anything from Islam's victory because Alex signed up for the fight, and like, if Alex wanted to not have this excuse of getting off the couch, he shouldn't have taken the fight. Simple. But you cannot disregard the fact, or the idea that if Alex was able to have 8-week, 12-week fight camp, I truly believe this fight would have gone different. We'll talk about the fight. Shout out to Alex, man. Such a competitor, such a dog, literally a dog, because I truly believe that he thought he would be able to do this. I truly believe that, and I truly believe he had just 100% unshakable conviction in himself. But basically, Alex came out in the walkout. I'll say it again. I feel like he truly had 100% conviction in himself that he would be able to do this. But Islam, another thing I really believe is that the first fight, Islam's rehydration time, it did not do him any favors, and I really think that he looked noticeably different in this fight than just physically, than the first one. So fight starts, Islam southpaw, so Alex, coming out orthodox, checking the lead hand, obviously taking away the jab, kind of staying at kickboxing range, like the both fighters just really, really feeling each other out for the first, like 30 or so seconds. But very early, Islam landed just a really nice, leg kick to Alex's front leg with his rear leg. And that the southpaw leg kick to the orthodox front leg, that's like, it kind of impacts the leg differently. Like, it doesn't really incapacitate you or like reduce your movement the same way an orthodox leg kick, like front leg kick, does to your or rear leg kick does to your front leg. But I mean, it doesn't feel good. But Islam was going downstairs, he was going to the body, working the lower body in order to go up to the front body kick, the open side body kick, and that hurts so bad. And you could totally tell that Islam wanted to make body work a point of emphasis in this fight because obviously Alex came off the couch. So yeah, Islam was kind of doing like a front snap kick to Alex's body. Volk, definitely, he's always loved the step up front leg kick, and he landed it. He had a good one. Volk, checking his hands all the time. Early on, Islam just blasted a high kick, a rear leg high kick to Alex, and Alex saw it, but you could totally tell that Islam was looking for his kicks to do damage, because it is such a longer weapon than his hands, and he has the height difference, and he's just longer than Alex. Like, it totally makes sense that if Islam could like kind of keep Alex more on the end of his kicks, that like Alex couldn't get in with the hands, and Alex was talking about how he wanted to knock Islam out, and I totally believe that Alex would have been just more gung-ho, to get in with the hands, because Alex is a great, boxer, obviously. Then after Islam blasted that high kick early on, he shot in for a takedown, and he was pretty far away, but he's a trained wrestler. So even though Alex was able to like stuff it, he the commentary noticed he was like but I mean, something that was said about Alex is that maybe sometimes he can be he's just too passionate, you know what I mean? Like he loves the trash talk, he loves the gamesmanship, he loves shit like that gets him going. But he was like maybe he got a little too sure of himself, because Islam was able to turn it into a clinch situation. And you could see the strength difference, bro. You could see the strength difference, Alex had the dad bod, bro. Like he looked like an in shape dad bod, you know, like. But um, Alex really did do a great job of stuffing the initial takedown, but they got into a clinch situation. Islam pushing him against the fence. Um, Alex like reversed it, was pushing Islam against the fence. Um, the whole time, you know, bro, Islam, one of the best things he does, bro, is freaking knee the body, bro. His knees to the body are amazing. You watch the Charles fight, he was kneeing him to the body. Charles was mad that he was kneeing him to the body. Charles kneed him to the body. Islam freaking like, you know, like you know, judo through him, bro. Um, Islam does an amazing job with his knees to the body. Um, you know, because you're just so worried about him taking you down or whatever, or da 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 da. Like you kind of disregard, you know, the knees to the body. Um, Volk, it was funny because he was pushing Islam against the fence, and he was kind of trying to like, you know, do the leg trips against the fence, like, you know, like put, you know, your leg behind Islam's leg, and then like, you know, kind of off balance and to try to trip him, you know, because like even though Islam is, you know, just this sambo guy, they in the Islam's fighter announcement, Bruce Buffer called him like the Eastern European or the European like Asian sambo world champion. That was really funny. But like you even though Islam, you know, is such an accomplished grappler, probably one of the best grapplers in the sport right now, if not the best, you have to still try to grapple him. You have to still try to, you know, the slick boxer, you still have to try to box him up. The leg kicker, you gotta leg kick the leg kicker, you know. The cardio guy, you gotta go to his body. You gotta, even if someone seemingly has like a really strong aspect to their game, you need to do whatever you can to like kind of like, you can't play into that, bro. You can't, you have to mix the martial arts, and Islam was trying to mix the martial arts, or Alex was trying to mix the martial arts and take down Islam, but I mean, it wasn't anything doing. But yeah, Islam, off the clinch, he kind of kneed Alex to the head. I think he was able to get a knee through to Alex's head. Was really nice. You could see the strength difference, bro. Yeah, honestly, Alex, he kind of lazily kind of tried to disengage from the clinch, but Islam was just pursuing it too heavily. Islam really, I think, felt the strength difference in the clinch. Because yeah, Alex tried to disengage, but Islam was able to get like double collar ties on Alex's neck, and he was like hitting him with knees. He was hitting him with knees to the body. He was just kind of dragging Alex around. You know what I mean? But in order to like kill the clinch, you know, Volk, like the commentators, he said he led with his hips, and I totally like see what they mean. Like, Alex was able to eventually get out of the tie clinch, but like it wasn't very good for Alex. Islam landed a lot of offense, a lot of body work during the clinch situation, and was kind of just like bullying him in general. But they disengaged, and Islam again going back, you know, with the open side leg kick to the body, really nice. It was connecting, like it really was connecting flush. Islam's boxing looked good. He had like a overhand left, like it was really nice. Like in, you know, leading up to the freaking knockout. But yeah, Alex, he was just backing up a lot. I totally think that Islam's early work to the body like was paying dividends, and that Alex kind of wanted to like recharge for a little bit, like get on his bike, like kind of get his cardio back, but he was like backing up too much. And you know, when you are such a longer guy, when you have that, you know, reach advantage in like your limbs, like you can keep dude on the end of your legs, but he isn't in a position to like even land any kind of offense, you know what I mean? And Islam, yeah, he just kicked him in the dome, bro. Alex got a little bit of a hand up, like, but I mean, I got this from Jack Slack, but like of course you would rather kick than punch, you know what I mean? Like your hand is such a little ball of bones compared to like the freaking huge bone and body mass that is your leg, you know what I mean? So, you know, Alex still did partially block the kick, bro, but like you saw it, like it was a beautiful kick. Islam has always had beautiful kicks. I mean, a small consolation. I love Islam. I've been watching Islam since heavily. This isn't like me bragging, but like just heavily. I watched the Thiago Moises fight, and I was like, you know what? All right, this guy. I think this guy is probably going to be pretty good. The Arman Islam fight is one of my favorite fights ever. Just such a beautiful grappling match. But just Islam just kicked him in the dome. Alex, he wasn't all the way out. A small consolation, but yeah. Shout out to Islam, bro. I mean, it just sucks because more than anything I wanted to see Alex and Islam fight. With a 12-week fight camp with whatever. Because truly Islam has been in a fight camp. Habib said for like something like 12 weeks, bro. Something like 100 days, and like just the level of shape and focus that he probably was in, is just ridiculous. You know what I mean? Of course, he was preparing for Charles, but like, Charles, like, he has his crazy, submissions or whatever, but largely on the feet, he's like so meat and potatoes. So I just feel like, I just am so sad for Volk, man. I'm glad he got however much money he got, and he's gonna get more opportunities as a result of this, and he just gets more clout or whatever. I truly think so, because it just takes balls to do this. But I just wish this fight never happened, bro. I just wish this fight didn't happen. Charles, man, like, I love you, bro, but like, wear a helmet, bro. Anyways, yeah, after this, I guess Islam fights either Gaethje or Charles, or I don't know. I think against welterweight opponents, I think Islam wouldn't do as well. I totally think Islam wouldn't do as well because, they're stronger. It'll be harder to get a takedown, and then he'll be about the same size. If Leon might be bigger than him, I totally think that Islam should stay at lightweight. I know he's really big, but I think he should stay at lightweight for sure. Yeah, respect to Islam. Alex, he had the post-fight comments talking about, not fighting, doing his head in or whatever, and like, I don't know if it's as big of a deal as people are making it, but like, I just think Alex is just the ultimate competitor. He competes so much and he hates to lose, so I don't know. I want to see him again against Topuria, but I don't. I think he should rest a little bit. He should take at least 6 months, bro. Because, I mean, you didn't get knocked the F out, but, like, you, were it was a doctor stoppage. It was a doctor stoppage, bro. Like, you weren't able to defend yourself properly, you know what I mean? You got kicked in the dome really hard. And I saw a Brett Favre TikTok where he was like, yeah, the doctor says whenever you get your bell rung, whenever you see stars or whatever, that's a concussion. Made me scared because I know I've gotten my bell rung and I've seen stars a lot of my life, but like, anyways, I think Islam deserves all the respect. I think Alex should take time off. Let's see Islam in against, Gaethje. I don't care. I do love Islam though. I just honestly am just gutted. Shout out to Alex, bro. Okay. Coming, to this Hamza Usman fight, I wrote down, like, I could see Usman having a y'all must have forgot moment, you know what I mean? Because Usman's another one of those guys who just has unflappable confidence in himself. Of course, you have to in the UFC, but, Usman has been in there against absolute killers, you know what I mean? And he's only lost to, Leon. Beat him the first time, and then he got, he just freaking got destroyed. But, yeah. Usman, there's a meme going around, like, the live Usman reaction. He was making that face when he was, squatting down to start the fight. It was so funny. So, Hamza was just switching stances a crazy amount. He was doing his, like, bobbing his head side to side, like, moving around, like, kind of thing, like, he looked like he was making an emphasis on just like natural head movement, not just like head movement when you see something, but like always moving your head, and that is like more of a positive thing for you rather than just like only having reactive movement. If you're always like kind of moving your head, like it's just more conducive towards like slipping punches in general. So yeah, Hamza went in on like a double leg. Kamaru like sprawled immediately. But, these guys are just such amazing chain wrestlers that, like, he was able to get, just a hold of Usman's leg, and he immediately got the leg up, like, super high, and just like, like got Hamza down, or got Kamaru down. Kamaru was just on one leg, hopping, but Hamza was just pushing the leg up so high and definitely just using so much force to try to take Kamaru down. He immediately got to Kamaru's back. Kamaru went to wrestler's position, like both hands down on the mat, posting with his like butt in the air. But Hamza was, dragging Usman down. Kamaru was able to post his head on the fence, right? And when you do that, it lends itself to like a strong base because you're leaning your weight onto your head on the fence, so like it's kind of hard to like drag you down off of it. You know what I mean? But Hamza was like on his back. He had both hooks in, but Kamaru was just staying posted. DC was saying in order to get out of this position, Kamaru needed to take his left shoulder back and put his left hand between his legs and then dip the shoulder. I don't think really that's like exactly what DC was saying, but like it makes sense. Hamza was chilling on his back. Hamza was like he was hitting him, but it wasn't like he was like doing crazy amounts of damage with his like strikes from his back. Hamza was kind of able to flatten him out, but like man, Usman, he short notice fight, but like he still looked strong. He was able to like build his base back up. The whole time Usman was obviously like kind of hunching his shoulders up and like putting his chin down and like preventing Hamza from being able to just immediately rear naked choke him. Usman was extremely disciplined. In the first round, with the with his neck defense, and Hamza was able to land some strikes, but like I could see it being a 10-8 round. I think that could be a 10-8 round. I'm not gonna try to be all crazy about how I think the fight should have been scored or whatever, but like I could. We'll talk about it later, but Usman's grappling coach between rounds was saying, if it happens again, like Hamza gets that dominant position, you need to put your arm across his head and you gotta control his hips. Like don't let him come under, Yeah, Trevor was saying, to keep it simple. He's saying simplicity. He repeated the word simplicity. Yeah, I could see it being a 10-8 round. So, second round opens up. They're both orthodox. Hamza just repeatedly just kind of like switching stances. Usman was jabbing to the body. Totally think, again, like, it's amazing seeing fighters being so smart, like, trying to invest in body work and stuff, because totally Usman was trying to invest in the body. Kamaru was level changing, like feinting takedowns really, really, really well. Hamza was reacting to them pretty strongly. Kamaru had a really nice jab off the level change. Like he level changed, and then like Hamza was in a reactive state, so like Kamaru like just jabbed him in the face really strong. Both stance switching a lot. Kamaru. Obviously, I think he dropped Gilbert Burns from Southpaw. So Kamaru is really good at both stances. Coming into this, I was like, well, Kamaru, isn't the greatest striker in the world, and Hamza is just really game, and like, like a little bit taller, so like, I feel like the stand up kind of favors Hamza. But if anything, I came away with a takeaway that Hamza's striking needs more work. You know what I mean? He has a tendency to just put his head down and start brawling. Kamaru too, but like that doesn't lend itself well to fighting Sean Strickland or whatever. Yeah, Kamaru was orthodox and Hamza switched to southpaw. Hamza had a really nice body kick, open side body kick when that happened. Both guys kind of staying composed. Usman had some nice teeps happening. Hamza was kind of doing the John Jones leg teep, the whatever that's called, the John Jones leg teep. Kamaru putting in work to the body, jabbing to the body. Hamza had a nice leg kick, trying to kick Kamaru in the head, but Kamaru blocked it really well. Kamaru was hitting some straights to the body, really trying to invest in that body work. Hamzat was, again, kicking to the head, but Kamaru was seeing it. Kamaru was, feinting really nicely, getting Hamzat to react to it. Kamaru level changed, then hit a nice 1-2. He hit a 1-2, and then he, like, leg kicked him afterwards. And that's really nice when you see fighters, not just putting, like, one strike together. When they're able to, like, do work with the hands and then finish the leg kick, or come in, like, feint with the hands, then go with the leg kick, and then go with the hands afterward. It's... Fighters, you're not supposed to just do one strike at a time. When you do one strike at a time, you become predictable, and you kind of start, like, looking at your work or whatever. It's much better to work in combinations. Kamaru, he was hitting the straight left from southpaw pretty well. He was just stepping in, with the straight left from southpaw. It was really nice. Hamzat went in for the takedown, like, I think in the last minute or so of the round, and Kamaru was able to, like, sprawl, and he, like, locked his hands around Hamzat's chest. And ideally what happens when you do that, and then you're, like, using the attacking fighter's momentum, when you lock the hands around the chest, you're able to, like, flip them over your head or whatever. But obviously Hamzat's base is just too strong, his hips are too strong for Kamaru to really do that. But they ended up, like, Hamzat was kind of, like, just not in an opportune position because Kamaru, like, had his hands wrapped around his chest or whatever. Kamaru was, like, kind of high up on, like, Hamzat's body, and Hamzat wasn't really able to do any work off the takedown. So I totally believe that Kamaru took the second round. In between the rounds, Trevor was saying, "Hey man, if you stand in front of him, we're gonna lose. You have to, like, put him on his heels. You have to make him go backwards." You know what I mean? Because his defensive reaction is just, like, to retreat. And I was totally noticing that. Like, Kamaru, isn't the freaking... He is not, Anderson Silva, but he moves his head and his upper body in order to, like, dodge strikes. Obviously you saw that, that's how Leon knocked him the F out, you know what I mean, is by baiting out the head slit. But Hamzat's reaction, is to just retreat when offense comes towards him. So they were saying to Kamaru, if you sit on the outside, he's going to shoot, and, like, that's totally true. Hamzat's corner was saying that you need to throw your two, and that he needed to wrestle. And, I feel like that was good advice, because obviously Kamaru doesn't have the requisite cardio probably needed, but, I mean... commentary was saying it, but I totally think that the first round, Hamzat putting all that output in order to try to take down Kamaru, I totally think that Hamzat still has problems with his energy expenditure. I feel like in the gym or whatever, he's able to go, however many rounds, but when you're really in that moment and you feel like he probably felt like he was going to be able to do something really damaging to Kamaru in that first round, you know what I mean? But, you can't, you have to, it's the slippery slope of wanting to, like, take out your opponent, but also wanting to save your energy, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's a really hard balance to strike, and obviously it feels like Hamzat isn't that good at it yet. They come out both orthodox. Hamzat again teeping. It was funny. He orthodox. He teeped Kamaru's front leg with his back leg. It was funny, John Jones-esque, and when you're the taller guy, why not, do work with your legs? Why not do the John Jones teep? Why not leg kick? Hamzat wasn't doing enough leg kicks, in my opinion. Hamzat kind of a half-ass takedown. Kamaru just, like, got out of the way. Kamaru looked really reactive. He looked really good, honestly. Kamaru jabbing to the body, teeping to the body. I wrote down that Hamzat's defense is retreating, and totally, when Kamaru came in with the offense, Hamzat would just retreat. He would just run away. Not run away, but just, like, retreat. And, like, the good strikers, they're able to see offense coming, they're able to tie up, they're able to move their head and then strike on their own, they're able to, da-da-da-da. You saw Ryan Garcia against Gervonta Davis, a lot of Ryan Garcia's defense is just retreating. And, Gervonta, the superior striker, was able to time that, you know what I mean? Kamaru, his level changes were making Hamzat react, stepping in with the 1-2, but Hamzat was doing it okay with, like, his boxing defense, like, able to, like, put his hands up and, like, block stuff with his arms and his hands, but it was partial blocks, you know what I mean? Kamaru was stepping in with the 1-2. Kamaru had a nice jab. They both kind of, like, jabbed at the same time to the face. It was pretty nice. Hamza landed like a rear straight from orthodox, like, Kamaru teeping to the body, Kamaru jabbing. The Kamaru had, like, a stretch, like a 15-20 second stretch where he was, like, just putting a lot of offense onto Hamzat, and not too much was landing, like, clean, but, like, Kamaru, I wrote down the sequence. Kamaru, like, it was after Kamaru and Hamzat both, like, jabbed each other at the same time. Kamaru, like, teeped him, then he hit him with a nice jab and, like, was going to the body, and then he hit him with the southpaw overhand left, and then went in with the 1-2. Like, Kamaru put in a really nice stretch of offense during that third round. Hamza had a nice inside leg kick. Kamaru landed with the southpaw jab. Hamza went in for the takedown. Kamaru stuffed it pretty well, but, again, man, Hamza is just such an amazing chain wrestler. He, like, turned it into a double leg. So Kamaru was, like, flat on his back, but, like, Kamaru, like, wrapped one of Hamzat's legs up. I think that's, like, quarter guard, not sure what to call it. But Kamaru was like, holding Hamzat's upper body, so Hamzat wasn't able to get in any offense. And DC was saying that first you got to get your left arm underhook, get to your right hip, and then build your way back to a single leg. And Kamaru was getting the underhook, but, it wasn't easy to get Hamzat off him. Hamzat was, like, shoulder striking him. Hamzat had a nice, like, punch to the body when he was on top. Kamaru wasn't really able to build his way back up. And then Kamaru, his getting back up, I wasn't really able to see it, but it was extremely dynamic. They're both just so sweaty, and it's hard to, like, hold on to the guy when you're both that sweaty and tired. But Kamaru got back up. Kamaru stepped in with the 1-2. Hamzat, like, kind of blocked it, but still partially landed. Hit him with a nice jab. Hamzat was, like, backing up. I totally think that Hamzat was tired. Kamaru was backing up. Kind of looked like Max Holloway, Ricardo Lamas at the end there. Both dudes were just fucking swinging leather, putting their heads down. It's really nice. I wrote that maybe Kamaru was better on the feet. I do think Kamaru was better on the feet. I think he was more disciplined. I think he just had better technique. It seemed like Hamzat wasn't too willing to expend energy. Like, he didn't want to, gas himself out. He didn't want Gilbert Burns to happen again, I wrote I didn't know how they would score it, and I wrote that no one was going to be happy with the decision, you know what I mean? Because looking back at it, I think it was a draw. I think Hamza got the 10-8 in the first round, and then I think Usman won the second and third round. I totally think it should have been a draw. And it's not good because it's just going to give, people more fuel for the fire that, like, oh, Abu Dhabi is rigged. Abu Dhabi is always going to be geared towards, the UFC's cash cows. And I think it should have been, because one of the judges gave Hamzat round 2. I don't see how in any reality you could give Hamzat round 2. Round 3 is definitely the more one that's going to be hotly debated. But Hamzat didn't really have much offense off the takedown, and then Kamaru was backing him up, and I feel like he had the more substantial moments in the stand-up. I don't know. The thing is, bruh, if Hamzat's going to fight Sean Strickland, bro, I don't think that is going to go too well for him. I don't think Sean Strickland is going to be taken down very easily. And I don't think that Sean is going to have any problems with dealing with Hamzat's stand-up at all. I think Hamzat is, like, okay, I don't love him or anything, but I don't think that is going to be the most fortuitous fight for him, honestly. Kamaru, nothing but respect. Nothing but respect for Kamaru Usman. Um, I wonder truly what his future is going to hold if he just stays for the cash fights. I don't know. Um, I truly wonder what his future is going to hold. Nothing but respect for him. Yeah. Um, the stupid Johnny Walker fight, like, I'm seeing stuff that, like, right now, Kavanaugh said that they asked him what country he's in, and Johnny said the desert. I totally think this could have been a translation error. I think nothing could have been lost if the doctor was like, hey, let me get a translator in here, to ask him, like, concretely, like, what he was feeling. But Ankalaev looked really in shape. Of course, Johnny looked really in shape too. But Johnny was, he had a nice leg kick immediately. And he was stepping in with a jab. Obviously, he's bigger, taller, longer. Muhammad kicked up to Johnny's head. Obviously, he's southpaw, but Johnny, was able to see it coming and block it. Johnny had a nice, like, leg kick, like, kind of off the momentum, like, kind of going to his left, I love doing that, you know what I mean? Like, if you're, like, moving around the guy, like, and you're able to, like, have momentum in your leg kick too, you're not just stationary with leg kick, it can, like, really, like, off balance the guy, hurts their leg really bad. Johnny was doing a lot of, like, faking with his leg kicks, Muhammad, he was kind of doing the Max Holloway 2 thing, like, you glide in kind of with your front leg up in order to, like, kind of get the person, like, going backwards, because, like, they kind of are like, oh, what the F are you gonna do? Muhammad was lifting up his front leg to get inside. Johnny missed a leg kick and Muhammad stepped in with some punches. It was really nice. Muhammad was very patient. Muhammad kicking to the legs. Johnny was having some nice teeps. He was working into the body. Johnny had a nice straight to the body, but then Muhammad hit him really nice to the body. I think it was a punch. Johnny did the Derek Lewis. He, like, ducked down, pretended like he was really, really hurt. He probably was pretty hurt, but Johnny tried a flying knee off it. Muhammad, he was doing a good job of just not rushing in immediately. Muhammad, like, kind of let the flying knee pass him by. Muhammad immediately, like, pushing him against the fence. And Johnny was, like, trapped against the wall. Like, he had, like, one of his hands, like, trapped. So, like, Muhammad wasn't able to, like, really take him down, though, because Johnny was doing a good job of, like, keeping his back against the fence. And, like, since, Muhammad wanted to, like, prioritize control over, like, putting in offense, like, Muhammad wasn't able to really do, like, huge amounts of damage. Then nothing was really happening in the position, and then Muhammad just, this guy, the Blachowicz fight, he didn't, wrestle until, like, it was too late, and then, like, this fight, I mean, it's just Muhammad, like, what were you doing? It's really sad because I think Muhammad, he's not the most exciting fighter ever, but I think he is totally championship material. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a conservative, calculating fighter. And that's what Muhammad is, But what are you doing, bro? I feel bad for Johnny. I feel like Johnny has improved a lot as a fighter. I feel like he's just improved just in his maturity. I just feel like, all that stuff. So really sad for both of them. Maybe they'll run it back. That was a bruh moment. I watched the Ikram fight. I wanted to watch Saeed Nurmagomedov, but for some reason my legal stream, wink wink, it didn't show the Saeed fight, but I saw Ikram. The ref kind of looked like Giga Chikadze. It was really funny. Worley was doing a nice job of kicking the legs. Ikram was, like, faking with his legs and getting Worley to react. It was pretty nice. Ikram very patient. Ikram kind of staying in range, stepping in with a jab. He had a nice jab. He was stepping in with a jab, teeping with his front leg to Worley's body. Worley, like, tried to leg kick him, but Ikram like stepped in with punches. Really nice. Whenever a fighter kicks you, you have to do whatever you can to make him not try to do it again. You have to step in on it. You have to try to take him down off it. You have to hit him after he kicks you, because when a guy is on one leg, that's, obviously like the most vulnerable position, like pretty much in the fight. Ikram was working behind the jab. He was checking the leg kicks. He was teeping Worley to the body. Like, he looked just really composed. He looked just really good in the striking department. Worley stepped in with like a flurry, like kind of the MMA flurry, that they teach. Like it I don't know, wasn't really doing anything. Ikram stepped in with the 1-2. He hit him with the 1-2, and that is kind of what I believe softened Worley's chin, because he hit him with the 1-2, and then they were kind of just like dancing or whatever for a second. Then he stepped in with the jab, and the jab obviously wobbled him, like kind of made him drop to a knee. Don't know if it was truly a drop, but Ikram stepped in with a hard jab, not freaking like a wind up punch. It was just like a jab that he really like stepped in to. He really put his weight into it. Hit him with the flying knee, when Worley was like kind of up against the fence, and just freaking put him out, bro. Ikram's striking, I feel like, was very meat and potatoes, but when you're so worried about the takedown, when you're so worried about the offense, you don't really need to be Israel Adesanya. You know what I mean? If you can just have like very strong fundamentals in your striking and chain it together with really amazing wrestling, it's like people are so worried about the threat of the takedown that your striking looks a lot better by comparison. Look at freaking Habib against Justin Gaethje. He was landing the 1-2, he was jabbing him up, he was landing the teep. Like, when you're so worried about wrestling, a lot of times your striking looks a lot better. Obviously, Worley coming in relatively short notice, I'm pretty sure, and then he's a welterweight also. I want to see Ikram against better middleweights, but I mean, no reason to believe that he couldn't be a really strong contender. Shout out Worley. Yeah, I am really sad about Alex versus Islam, because I just think Alex deserved a full fight camp against this guy, because Alex gave him the toughest fight, and I think that Islam has just such clear revenues towards victory against all the other lightweight contenders. You know what I mean? Like Dustin, take him down. Justin, take him down. Chandler, wait him out. Oliveira, do what he did the first time. I feel like Gamrot is a little tougher, but I just feel like Islam has a lot better striking than Gamrot, and it'll just be like a striking match. You know what I mean? If he wants to go to welterweight, sure. But I just truly believe that it's not going to be easy taking Leon down. And Leon is a very, 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 very good striker who likes the stuff that Islam likes to do. He likes the clinch, you know what I mean? He likes the kickboxing game. Yeah. Shout out to these guys, man. It was a good card. But, gutted, Cheers. I'll try to do more of these. Really excited for Stipe versus Bones, just to see, like, I guess if, just what's up. Like, I want to see if Stipe has one more left. I want to see if Johnny, is able to do something against a guy who doesn't have such a glaring hole in his game. Stipe is just one of the best all-rounders, ever. Yeah. Cheers.